Okay, now, folks, first of all, I can't understand why WWE can just give us a better Monday Night Raw and Friday Night SmackDown show. So, I watched Monday Night Raw on YouTube. I watched Monday Night Raw on YouTube, and I watched the Monday Night Raw highlights on YouTube. And the show was fucking terrible, horrible, and it was garbage. This Monday Night Raw show has been garbage for the last 4 weeks last month. And now, going into this month, this month of May, the show still is horrible. After all this time, the show's been garbage for the last 4 weeks last month. Now we're into May. It's like the show's it's like the show all of a sudden is getting a tiny bit better. But it's still, this week's Monday Night Raw is still fucking garbage. I mean, what more can I say, man? I'm not even going to go to any other further details to why this show sucked. You know what? Actually, change that. Actually, I am going to go into further information as to why this show sucks. Monday Night Raw has given us bad fucking storylines, bad fucking segments, bad matches, and overall, most importantly, bad fucking backstage interviews. This show, all that stuff is the reason why the Raw ratings are going down. And it's because of the fucking talent on the roster. It's because of some of the talent on that roster. So all those things are the reasons why the Raw ratings are going down and why Raw has given us the terrible shows that they've given us for the last 4 weeks. Yeah, this week's Monday Night Raw is garbage for the 5th week in a row. 5th time in a row. This is the 5th time in a row that this show's been garbage. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Brendan Ingram here, back with another live stream. This is your May the 4th, 2020 Monday Night Raw review. Please, I encourage you all of you on Twitter, I encourage you all to retweet this video, retweet my Monday Night Raw review, and tell everybody how you feel and what you think WWE should do to make Monday Night Raw better. Because the ratings are awful, man. And it's not just Monday Night Raw that is doing terrible. It is Friday Night SmackDown that is also doing terrible on their fucking ratings. For the same reason why Monday Night Raw is doing terrible. Yep, Friday Night SmackDown is the same reason why Monday Night Raw is doing terrible, folks. Yes, it is. They cannot use their talent. The Monday Night Raw or Friday Night SmackDown are not using their talent the right way. And they are not giving us better storylines, better matches, and better promos, and better backstage interviews. They're giving us terrible interviews, terrible matches, terrible promos, and garbage, straight up garbage segments. It's not been good, folks. It has not been fucking good. Instead, it's just been really bad. I can't even understand why WWE is continuing to give us these terrible shows, man. Why are they continuing to give us a terrible Monday Night Raw and Friday Night SmackDown show each and every week? I can't understand that. I don't understand personally. I'm gonna go ahead and send a few invites to people to join my broadcast to hear me talk about the Monday Night Raw on my Monday Night Raw review and what all happened on Monday Night Raw last night. So I'm gonna invite players to join my Monday Night Raw broadcast review here. But folks, I just don't understand, man. why can they fucking make Monday Night Raw a better show? Can someone explain to me why they are not making Monday Night Raw a better show? Somebody needs to fucking tell me this right now, because I don't fucking understand. And I don't understand this WWE creative team. What are they fucking doing that's making this fucking show worse? What are they doing? What the hell are they doing that's making the show fucking bad and worse? I don't get it. I don't fucking understand. Like, does anybody understand the fucking words that are coming out of my mouth right now? Seriously, man. I mean, dude, come on. And I also most definitely cannot understand why they are bringing SmackDown down. Why is SmackDown a terrible show too? I can't understand why the ratings are going down for Friday SmackDown. But you know what? I understand now. It's for the same reason why the Monday Night Raw ratings are going down. I just said that. Okay? I'm not going to repeat that again. Definitely not. Because I don't want to. Alright, folks, I'm back. I just came back. I just sent a few invites to people to join my broadcast. So, yeah. For the fourth week in a row, last month, Monday Night Raw shows were garbage. All 4 Monday Night Raw shows were garbage. And Friday Night SmackDown as well. And this is going on the 5th fucking time. This is the 5th fucking time in a row that Monday Night Raw shows have sucked. And now you're gonna wonder, and now all of us are asking a question, or I bet we're all asking, how good is Friday Night SmackDown show gonna be this Friday night? Well, I can tell you, probably garbage. How is NXT gonna be this week? How is NXT gonna be this week? How the NXT show gonna be this Wednesday night? The NXT show, I can tell you right now, the NXT show, how it's going to be this Wednesday night, the show's going to be brilliant. I can tell you right now. The show's going to be brilliant like it was the last Wednesday and the Wednesday before last. It's like me throwing a fucking bowling ball at those pins that are stacked up, that are standing up, waiting for me to hit them. Waiting for me to throw that bowling ball and hit them. But folks, seriously, this week's Monday Night Raw was fucking absolutely terrible. Once again. 5th time. This is the 5th time. The 5th time in a row the show's been terrible. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Brandon Ingram back here with another review today. This is your May the 4th, 2020 Monday Night Raw review. Please hit that like, subscribe button. Turn on all notifications. Important. Turn on the bell for all notifications so you won't miss all my reviews on my YouTube channel. So you're going to miss all my Friday Night SmackDown, NXT, and Monday Night Raw reviews that I do every week on my YouTube channel. So, folks, all I have to say is WWE needs to do more better with their Monday Night Raw and Friday Night SmackDown shows that they give us every week. They need to do more better with their talent. They need to do more better with the promo segments and interviews. They need to be doing just like NXT right now. They need to be doing just like NXT. But they're not. Instead, they want to do it their fucking way instead of not doing it like NXT. Like how Triple H has NXT. You know, NXT, Triple H is one of the reasons. You know, Triple H is one of the reasons why NXT has been successful like they've been. The guy's a producer, for fuck's sakes, too. You know? And like I said, you have to respect Triple H and what he has done for NXT and what he has done in his career for himself as well. You gotta respect NXT and what they're doing. They are delivering brilliant fucking vignettes and brilliant brilliant segments for the last 4 fucking weeks of NXT shows. For the last 4 weeks on all 4 of those NXT shows, I've seen excellent segments, amazing, brilliant promos, brilliant matches, brilliant backstage interviews, and most importantly, brilliant video packages from certain superstars. You know, either video package from superstars making a name for themselves, telling them that they look forward to facing their dream opponent and all that stuff. Those kind of video packages, you know, telling them that they're gonna put NXT men or women's division on notice. Those kind of video packages, I love it, man. Those awesome video packages that NXT is giving us. So I'm gonna repeat what I just said. Actually, no, I'm not. Fuck it. I'm not repeating what I said. But NXT is giving us better segments, better promos, better matches, and better vignettes and better video packages. Monday Night Raw and SmackDown, they're more like giving us garbage, terrible segments, promos, and matches. NXT, for fuck's sakes, is doing better than Friday Night SmackDown and Monday Night Raw. Why can't Monday Night Raw and Friday Night SmackDown be like NXT? Why? Anyways, I'm going to get started with this review. Ladies and gentlemen, so apparently last night's Monday Night Raw served as the so-called go-home show before Money in the Bank this Sunday. More like the so-called garbage go-home show. Because that's what it was last night. Fucking the garbage fucking go-home show. Was the fuck it was. I mean, literally, what the fuck it was. It was what it was, literally. So, WWE needs to replace Apollo Crews in the Money in the Bank ladder match, seeing as his storyline injured. And looks like WWE had a replacement, has officially have a replacement for Apollo Crews. So apparently WWE has a person that's going to replace Apollo Crews. That's going to be in the Money in the Bank ladder match with Aleister Black and the likes of Rey Mysterio, Daniel Bryan, Baron Corbin, and Otis. So, yeah. So, folks, ladies and gentlemen, so as far as WWE Raw goes, this week's Raw opens up with a look back at last week's contract signing between the WWE Champion Drew McIntyre and Seth Rollins. Folks, I don't understand why they're still doing this fucking Drew McIntyre and Seth Rollins storyline. Why did they even bring this storyline up to begin with? Somebody must have been running their mouth saying, "Oh, I want to see a Drew McIntyre and Seth Rollins storyline." No, I think that was WWE's idea of trying to bury Drew McIntyre down. I think that was WWE's way of trying to bury Drew McIntyre, and I bet that's what they're going to do at WrestleMania. They're going to have Seth Rollins picking up a victory over Drew McIntyre with the help of AOP, with the returning AOP and Buddy Murphy. Or should I say the return of AOP? I thought I said that right. Hopefully I didn't, because I don't even know if I did or not. So, MVP is in the ring for another episode of the VIP Lounge. Who fucking cares is what I want to fucking say. Really, who fucking cares about the MVP VIP lounge. I don't fucking give a shit about that. Anyways, MVP welcomes us to the show and says that last week he had the men competing in this Sunday's Money in the Bank match on the show, and it was a disaster. Oh, I'll tell you what else is a disaster. Fucking Monday Night Raw and them giving us garbage fucking segments, promos, and fucking matches week after week after week. You want to talk about something that's garbage? You want to talk about something that's fucking terrible? You want to talk about something that was a disaster? All that shit was a disaster. That's what was a disaster. Fucking Monday Night Raw giving us garbage fucking shows. Anyways, so this week he aims to bring some class in sophistication. What kind of word is that? What the hell does that word even fucking mean? This is what you want? Fucking MVP on the main roster? Fucking ruining Monday Night Raw? Is this what you all want? No, I'm just kidding. Anyways, back to the VIP lounge with the women competing in the Money in the Bank match. He introduces Asuka, followed by, this is someone JD doesn't like. This is someone JD hopes that people turn the channel. Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler. Folks, did you hear that? Nia Jax. A lot of you fans do not like Nia Jax and did not like the way that butch went between her and Kairi Sane in that match. I guarantee you some of you are still going on about that. Folks, I don't blame you. That butch was bad. Oh yeah, Nia Jax responded to that. And I remember I told you that on my recent review, I think 2 months ago. I think it was 2 months ago when this happened. At the end of 2 months ago this happened. This butch happened, I think. Might be wrong. But whatever, who cares? Anyways, yeah. This Nia Jax is a superstar that JD doesn't want nobody to see on TV. He wants people to turn the channel because of her. Oh yeah. Not to mention because of Jinder Mahal too. Oh, I am so glad WWE did not show Jinder Mahal this week on Monday Night Raw. Oh my god, please don't show Jinder Mahal. Please don't. No. The guy fucking sucks. Please don't show him. Oh no. If I see Jinder Mahal next week on Raw, I am going to fucking freak out. The guy's fucking terrible at what he does in the ring. He's an embarrassment to some of the WWE superstars, man. He's an embarrassment to some of the WWE baby faces. And he damn sure is an embarrassment to most of the fucking heels that are on that WWE roster. So don't. Please don't showcase Jinder Mahal again. Please don't. Anyways, MVP asked Nia if she has the skill set to get from the ground floor to the roof, then up a ladder. Nia asked if he hasn't seen her dominate in the last few weeks. She's relentless, and that's all she needs to dominate. He asked for Asuka to respond, and she rents in Japanese, which I don't blame her. The only reason why Nia Jax has been dominant because, I mean, think about it. Because of her weight. Think about it. Look how much she weighs. The only reason why she's been dominant because WWE's been letting her be dominant. They want her to be the dominant force of greatness. More like her being delivered the dominant of greatless fucking flatliners. Anyways. So yeah, Asuka rants in Japanese. MVP asks Shayna how her skills will help her in the match. And she says she does her talking with her actions, and that's the biggest difference between her and everyone else. Asuka again yells in Japanese, and they stand up to face each other. Both of them turn and kick Jax off her stall. And she rolls from the ring. MVP keeps Baszler and Asuka separate and tells them to save it. Yep. She tells them to save it. Oh, I wish one of them would have knocked MVP out. I was hoping Shayna Baszler would give MVP the right and just knock him out. The guy sucks. He doesn't deserve to be in the ring. Doesn't even deserve to deliver to give us his VIP lounge. I think he deserves to fucking retire right now. That's what I think. He deserves a fucking right hand punch to the fucking face is what MVP deserves. A right hand punch to the fucking face. So it said that night that Drew McIntyre would be in action, which he was. I think it was the main event for Monday Night Raw. So last night was the gauntlet match to determine the final Money in the Bank entrant on the men's side, and then it went to commercial break. I hate those fucking commercial breaks. I think it wastes TV time for some of the talent. Gotta feel bad for Monday Night Raw because how fucking terrible it's doing. Gotta feel bad for Friday Night SmackDown because how fucking terrible it's doing. If this is any indication that Monday Night Raw and Friday Night SmackDown this week, if this is any indication that not only this week's Monday Night Raw was garbage, but this week's Friday Night SmackDown is going to be garbage, if this is an indication of both of those shows being garbage this week, this is most definitely going to be an indication that Money in the Bank is going to be fucking garbage too. Just putting it out there. I think this is going to be an indication that this week's Money in the Bank is going to be garbage, just like this week's Monday Night Raw was. This week's Friday Night SmackDown is probably going to be the same as Monday Night Raw. I guess you could put Money in the Bank on the list as fucking bottom. I guess you could put Money in the Bank as on the list as one of the worst fucking pay-per-views this year, because that's probably what it's going to be. It's probably what it's going to be. One of the worst fucking pay-per-views this year. Guarantee it. Shit, the fucking baddest the fucking Raw and SmackDown ratings have been going down lately. Shit. It will not be a fucking surprise to me if Money in the Bank becomes a fucking garbage fucking pay-per-view show. I won't be surprised they give us a terrible fucking Money in the Bank show. I'll be surprised if Money in the Bank ends up being garbage, just like yesterday's Monday Night Raw was. And just like Friday Night SmackDown will probably be this Friday Night SmackDown. By the way, it said that Jey or Jimmy Uso one of them will be out of action for 6 to 9 months because of their knee, because one of them injured their knee. I don't know which Uso it was that injured their knee, but one of them will be out 6 to 9 months. And this will probably be an indication that we probably will not be seeing Naomi for another 6 to 9 months. I have no reaction to that, but hopefully Jimmy Uso will come back healthy. But see, problem is, JD and the other podcasts are not going to like the fact that he's coming back. Because the tag team division over there on SmackDown Live right now is fucking, it's bad. From what I've been hearing by my sources, the tag team division over there has been pretty bad. And I'm starting to actually see that it is. Like I said, it's got something to do with the WWE writers and the WWE creative team that's making these shows bad. It's got something to do with them, man. Got to put it all on them. They're the ones responsible for these shows. Hell, Vince McMahon's the one responsible for these shows too. Might as well say he is as well. I mean, there's nothing none of us can do to make these shows better, but there's something Vince McMahon, the writers, and the fucking creative team can fucking do to make both of these fucking shows better. that's something they can do. Use their talent the right way. Give the right talent to push he or she needs to be at the top of the men's or the women's division. Give us better fucking segments, better promos, and most importantly, incredible, brilliant matches that we can see, that we can grade and consider it an A+. A match that we could say, oh, that was a great match. That's not bad. You know, something like that. A match that we can comment on and we can have good comments on. You know, we can have great reactions on. Hell, a lot of people on social media has already reacted to how last night's Monday Night Raw was, and a lot of people are not happy with that. A lot of podcasters are not happy with how Monday Night Raw went last night. Most certainly, not me. I am not happy how Monday Night Raw went. So, here was the gauntlet match between Bobby Lashley and Titus O'Neil. So, the match gets underway and they lock up and struggle for control. Lashley drives a knee into Titus, but he fires back with right hands. Irish whip, and Lashley ducks a clothesline to hit a spear and get the quick win. Folks, honestly, WWE is not the same like it used to be anymore. Back when Attitude Era was around, it was a whole lot better back when Attitude Era was around because they gave us better matches, better promos, better segments, better backstage, interviews and everything. Now, this new generation coming out, and it seems like it's not getting too good. Watch, right when all the fucking main roster NXT female and male stars get to the main roster, get to the Friday Night SmackDown or Monday Night Raw main roster, I guarantee you they're gonna bury some of them. Guarantee you when some of those NXT superstars get to the main roster, WWE's gonna bury them right off the bat real quick. And I hope that does not fucking happen. And that's gonna make JD from Off the Script even more fucking bad. JD from NY, for what I'm talking about, it's gonna make him even more fucking angry on his review. Hell, it's gonna make me even fucking more angry. So, with Titus O'Neil eliminated, Akira Tozawa slides into the ring and hits Lashley with an enziguri. He then heads to the top rope and hits a missile drop kick. Tozawa hits the ropes but eats a spear and he's done. So yeah, if this is any indication that this Friday Night SmackDown is going to be garbage, as well as what this Monday Night Raw was. So hold on, let me go back and repeat it because I don't think I'm stuttering. I don't think I'm saying this right. So if this is any fucking indication that not only last night's Monday Night Raw was garbage, but if this is any indication that this Friday night SmackDown is going to be also garbage, then you might as well say they're going to be giving us a terrible Money in the Bank pay-per-view show. So anyways, it only took 2 seconds for Bobby Lashley to defeat Tozawa. He was nothing. He speared him like he was nothing. So after Tozawa got eliminated, in comes Shelton Benjamin. Before Benjamin gets in the ring, Lashley attacks him on the apron. Shelton fights him off and heads up top for a blockbuster. Benjamin sends Lashley over the ropes, then hits him with a switch knee on the apron before knocking him off to the floor. Lashley reverses Benjamin and slides him into the barricade a few times. Lashley gets Benjamin inside and looks for the spear, but Shelton avoids it. Benjamin hits a nice kick, but Lashley comes right back with a spear for the pinfall. Benjamin's eliminated. So then it went on commercial break. Then they returned from commercial break to find this match in progress. Yeah. This match in progress? This match? Yeah. Whatever. Carrillo jumped but gets caught and slammed by Lashley. Shoulder tackle from Lashley. Then he looks for a Dominator, which I'm going to show you the superstars he all speared and eliminated. Akira Tozawa, he eliminated him. And then he eliminated Benjamin. So next was Humberto Carrillo. So now we can read it. So, yeah. So once again, I'm going to read this once again. Hold on. I exit out of the article on accident. Here we go. So, they return to find this match in progress. Carrillo jumps but gets caught and slammed by Lashley. Shoulder tackle from Lashley. Then he looks for a Dominator, but Carrillo lands on his feet. Humberto hits a missile dropkick, then goes back up top, but gets thrown off by Bobby. Lashley clotheslines Humberto in the corner, then stomps him. The referee pulls Lashley off, and he shoves him, so the ref calls for the bell. I mean, when I stutter, I think my autism sorta plays a role in when I stutter. Sorta, not much. I said sorta, a tiny bit. A tiny bit of my autism does play a role in when I stutter, you know. Especially when I repeat my damn self. Anyways. So, Bobby Lashley got eliminated, and Lashley was fucking pissed. He was pissed off when he got eliminated, so he hammered Carrillo after the disqualification and hits a spear. Carrillo's next opponent, a familiar one, Saunders down to the ring with a big smile on his face. Commercial break. So they were back live after commercial break. It was Humberto Carrillo versus Angel Garza with Selena Vega. So back live, and Garza was hounding Humberto in the corner. Garza hits a drop kick to Carrillo's leg, then rips his own treacherous off. Garza snaps Carrillo's leg apart, then hits a basement drop kick. Garza puts Carrillo in a submission. We get a slip screen that shows Lana trying to calm Lashley backstage, but he storms off. Humberto fights up and hits a hip toss. Garza catches Carrillo with a rope-assisted reverse suplex, then a super kick for a near fall. Carrillo hits a Hurricane Rana and an enziguri. Carrillo looks for a moonsault, but Garza gets the knees up. Garza grinds Humberto with a submission, then hits a middle rope moonsault for a near fall. Garza attempts the wing clipper, but Carrillo counters with a roll-up and wins. So Garza is out, but that's not the end of Selena Vega's chances that night. So, it went on commercial break. So, back from commercial break. So, apparently, Angel Garza couldn't get it done, but perhaps Austin Theory would have got it done. But Theory was beating Carrillo, then applies a body lock. Humberto starts to fight out, but Theory connects with a drop kick. Carrillo kicks Austin and hits a springboard, but Theory punches him in midair. Theory takes Carrillo up top and hits a superplex, but Carrillo pins him for the win. Austin Theory got eliminated really quick. So just as Carrillo gets over the challenge of Theory, he sees a ghost come down the ramp. Commercial break. So then when they were back from commercial break, Carrillo was attacking AJ in the corner, stomping him down. Of course, it was the return of AJ. Not surprised. We knew that was going to happen. AJ knees Humberto a few times until he falls. Keep in mind, AJ Styles is just now returning from being buried in his Boneyard match against Undertaker. Yeah, he returned since being buried by Undertaker. Undertaker showing his real persona, his real, everything else. So, yeah. AJ needs Humberto a few times until he falls and gets a 2 count. So AJ then applies an abdominal stretch to Carrillo, but he reaches the ropes. Carrillo punches AJ and swings a kick, but AJ catches it and hits a shoulder breaker. Styles hits a dragon whip, then attacks the leg. Styles beat Humberto in the corner, then tries another dragon screw, but Carrillo counters and hits a DDT. Carrillo hits an enziguri, then the two go back and forth until Carrillo hits another big enziguri. Styles kicks Carrillo and looks for a reverse DDT, but Carrillo hits an outside cradle for a near fall. Both men hit stereo lariats and fall. AJ hits a pump handle gutbuster, then goes to the calf crusher, and Carrillo taps. And AJ wins the whole gauntlet match. This gauntlet match was a terrible fucking gauntlet match. I absolutely did not fucking like it. In fact, this was the most terrible gauntlet match of all WWE. The most terriblest gauntlet match of all WWE. Probably in WWE history. I imagine this gauntlet match is going to go down as one of the worst matches in WWE history. It should, because it was that bad. That gauntlet match was really fucking bad. It sucked in a lot of million ways. Yeah, the match really sucked. They better make this Money in the Bank pay-per-view really good. They better do it. Better make it right. And Aleister Black should be the man to win that Money in the Bank briefcase, so we can have a Drew McIntyre versus Aleister Black championship match. So, Styles has won the gauntlet match, meaning he will be the final entrant. He will be the final entrant in the men's Money in the Bank match this Sunday. He joins Rey Mysterio, Daniel Bryan, Aleister Black, Otis, and King Corbin. Ironically, Styles just did what The Undertaker did to him in Saudi Arabia. Came out at the end of a gauntlet match and won. Styles attacks Carrillo after the bell, slamming his leg into the ring post a few times. There was no reason for AJ Styles to attack Humberto Carrillo. Come on now. He has not done nothing to AJ Styles. There was no reason for AJ Styles to beat him up. AJ gets on the mic and says he's not a zombie or a ghost. He's the phenomenal. AJ Styles, and there is no Undertaker here to steal his spotlight. He knows he got buried, but he didn't lose. There were no rules in the Boneyard match, so he didn't lose. But he cast an opportunity, and now he's in the most unique Money in the Bank match of all time. It's not worth it. In fact, he will do anything to win it. And if that means throwing someone off of Titan Towers, then so be it. First, he said he'd kill The Undertaker, and now this. AJ says he will finally make Mr. Money in the Bank phenomenal. This gauntlet match was fucking garbage. I don't even want to see a gauntlet match like that again. I really don't. So then we had the so-called Monday Night Messiah make his way to the ring and sits across from Charlie Caruso. Time to worship my ass. Charlie asks for his production for Murphy versus Drew McIntyre tonight. He says, what will be, but doesn't make sense. What will be, really doesn't even make sense. But he has the utmost confidence in his disciple. Seth asks how he prepares himself for a match against someone as dominant as Drew McIntyre, and Seth says it's an interesting question. Drew is not a leader, and it's not his destiny to take the WWE into the future. He says he is willing to sacrifice himself for the greater good. He said that 100,000 times before, greater good. The word greater good. He should just shove that up his ass right now. And everyone thinks he's being selfish, but it's not true. He represents his generation and those that came before. Drew is not ready for that, and he is trying to unburden him. And on Sunday, his destiny, yes he did, yes he said the word destiny, yes he did say the word destiny. So, yeah, Sunday his destiny will become a reality. I hope it doesn't, because if his destiny becomes a reality, it's going to be the worst show. It's going to be the worst pay-per-view show this year. Anyways, MVP approaches Shane Thorne and Brennan Vink backstage, and he tells them they have a big opportunity tonight to prove themselves. Vink says Ricochet and Alexander will learn all about them tonight. So I said next week on Raw, Edge will be hunting Randy Orton. I don't understand why he would be hunting Randy Orton when he defeated Randy Orton. They need to put Edge in a new feud now. And Randy Orton and Edge feud is over. They ain't put him in another feud. So Shane Thorne and Brennan Vink versus Ricochet and Cedric Alexander. Here's what happens with this match. So the match begins with Vink and Alexander, and the latter later drills the former with a few shots. And here WWE goes, giving us the same fucking match that we've already seen for the last 1-2 times. Here we go. Now they were doing good, they were doing so fucking good. Oh, not to mention, it was Humberto Carrillo versus AJ Styles. That's the same match we seen the last 2-3 times. Here we go again, and here we are in the beginning of May, and they're giving us not only a horrible show, but they're giving us the same fucking matches that we've already fucking seen for the last 4 or 5 fucking months. Oh my god, dude. How can they get any fucking dumber? Oh my god. Oh man. Oh, I'm just so sick of it. Cedric rolls under Vink and kicks him back, but then gets thrown into the corner and Thorne tags in. Shane drops Ricochet with a right, then eats a drop kick. So Alexander hits a knee to the gut and Ricochet with a neck breaker for a 2 count. Ricochet drags Thorne to the corner and tags Cedric, who punches the Australian before whipping him into the corner. Alexander gets thrown to the apron and Sean knocks him off and to the barricade before tagging Vink. Big Man throws Alexander like a dirt into the barricade. Sound like I said twerk, but like a dirt. But then kicks him around. Vink gets Cedric back in the ring and applies a rear chin lock. Alexander fights up and hits an enziguri. Tags made to Thorne and Ricochet, but it's the one and only who lights a fire in the match. Ricochet takes out an incoming Vink and hits Thorne with a Hurricane Roller. Then tag to Alexander, and they hit a flurry of attacks in the corner, followed by a tornado DDT by Alexander. Vink breaks the pin attempt, but gets thrown out by Ricochet. Vink tags in, and Alexander clocks him, then tags Ricochet. Vink shoves Alexander to the corner, and Thorne runs for a cannonball in the corner. Ricochet knocks Thorne out, but Vink hits a big boot to Ricochet, and they win. So Sean Thorne and Vink scored a huge victory over King Ricochet and Cedric Alexander on Raw. Their first victory on Raw. This is an indication that apparently Sean Thorne and Brendan Vink are being called up to the main roster to be formed as a new tag team as well. This is apparently their way of making the Raw tag team division better. I gotta say, it's gotten a little bit better, but it hasn't got much better for what I've been seeing. Anyways, we see some replays of last year's Money in the Bank when Brock Lesnar won at the last minute, then invented the iconic Brock Party. You see a video of when the Street Profits beat Rollins and Murphy to become Raw Tag Team Champions. Street Profits came to the ring, and Dawkins says the Performance Center is where they were born. And everything says that they've been chasing the Raiders since day one, but tonight they prove that they are up and they want the smoke. The Raiders made their entrance as it went to commercial break again. Getting tired of these commercial breaks. So they came back from commercial break. The match begins with Ford and Eric. Oh, actually, the Street Profits and the Biker Raiders that I'm talking about are, of course, the guys that I'm talking about are, wait for it, wait for it, wait for it, wait for it. Wait for it. There we go. These guys. These Street Profits. The Street Profits I'm talking about is those fucking Street Profits. Those guys. The Viking Raiders that I'm talking about is these guys on your right. These are the guys I'm talking about. So, Montez ducks and jumps over Eric, then hits an incredible flip over him and lands on his feet. So then Eric then cheap shots Angelo on the apron, and Ford attacks him in the corner. Ford jumps over Eric and flips, then swings for Ibar but misses, and Eric drops him with a shoulder. Ivar runs around the ring and kicks Dawkins in the face, then hits him with a crossbody. In the ring, Eric drops Montez, then knees him in the face. Powerbomb from Eric, then a splash from Ivar, but Ford kicks out. Ford hits a jawbreaker and makes a tag to Dawkins, who comes in with a flurry of punches. Dawkins knocks an incoming Eric down, then beats Ivar into the corner and tags Ford. They attempt a double team sliced bread, but Ivar counters and Eric runs into Eric runs into drop Dawkins, not drop kick, sorry. I read it a little bit wrong. They hit Ford in the corner with double team running knees for a near fall. Ivar batters Ford with a knee in forearms. Ivar hits a failing fist for a 2 count. It goes to a submission. Eric tags in and looks for a suplex before Ford lands on his feet and tags Andrew Dawkins. The Prophet hit a exploder suplex to Eric and knocks Ivar from the apron. Dawkins hits Eric with a splash and a bulldog. Eric rolls to the outside and drags Dawkins with him. Eric then gets back inside and looks for a suicide dive, but Dawkins punches him. Ivar then swings for Dawkins, but gets pounced into the barricade. So they went on commercial break, and then back live from commercial break, Dawkins is grinding down Eric with a sleeper. Eric fights up before it tags in and connects with a big dropkick and lands on Eric for a near fall. Dawkins and Ivar tag in, and the Vikings connect with a head kick. Ivar hits a seated senton, then cartwheel past an incoming Ford, and hits a lariat. Ivar hits a seated senton to Angelo in the corner for a 2 count. Ivar attacks Eric, and he drops Angelo with a knee for another 2 count. Dawkins fights back and hits a gut-wrench suplex. Tags made to Ivar and Ford, with the Prophet uploading with kicks and punches, but Ivar won't go down. Ivar cartwheels again, but this time Ford kicks him forward with a enziguri as Dawkins tags himself in, and they hit a double team back suplex and a double team moonsault for a near fall. Ivar counters both for a springboard back elbow, then tags Eric and he hits a backbreaker to Ford. The Vikings attempt the experience, but Dawkins hit a spear to Eric and Ford hits a DDT to Ivar. Tag to Dawkins, and they hit the cash out, but Eric runs in with a knee to break the pin. Ivar tosses Ford to the outside and tags Eric. They hit the Viking experience to Dawkins for the win. Folks, we do not need to see the Viking Raiders versus the Street Profits again. We've already seen that match for the last 5-6 times. We don't need to see it again. They need to come up with a new tag team matchup. Maybe Montez Ford and Andrew Dawkins, the Street Profits versus Cedric Alexander and Ricochet. Maybe come up with a match like that. That would be an interesting matchup. So, anyways, we see Drew McIntyre backstage with Charlie Caruso. She asks for McIntyre's response to Murphy, saying he knows he can beat him. Drew makes fun of Murphy's name change and says he's obviously a confused young man who Seth has preyed upon. He says if Murphy is willing to be sacrificed and the Messiah is willing to be sacrificed, then who is he to deny the people a good slaughtering? Charlie interviews the Viking Raiders backstage and asks what they owe their success to. Ivar says it isn't success, it's dominance. He says they like the Profits, but they have proven time and again that they're the best tag team in the world. Eric says the raid is on. Aleister Black cut a promo in a foggy room. He asks if AJ Styles to let everyone know what it felt like to be buried and swallowed by the darkness. Obviously, it didn't make him any more humble, though. He says AJ is threatening to throw him off the WWE headquarters, but it won't matter because he'll get back up. climb that ladder and take the briefcase. And when he does, AJ is gonna wish he was buried deeper than 6 feet. The NXT Women's Champion Charlotte Flair makes her way to the ring. Now, the NXT Women's Champion, the NXT Women's Champion Charlotte that I'm talking about is this Charlotte. Not that Charlotte. This Charlotte. That's the Charlotte I'm talking about. That's NXT Women's Champion. Yeah, that's Charlotte. So the NXT Women's Champion, Charlotte Flair, makes her way to the ring. She says she is the hardest working woman in any industry. She's been working both Mondays and Wednesdays. She says, I don't understand why they have her on Monday Night Raw if she's the NXT Women's Champion. I don't understand that. Anyways, she says this week, Wednesday, she will defend her NXT Championship against Io Shirai, which Io Shirai is actually going to cash in her briefcase and defeat Charlotte Flair once and for all to win her first NXT Women's Championship. And the incredible Io said her dream was to face Charlotte Flair, and she will make her dreams come true when she bows down to the Queen. Oh, Charlotte Flair is going to bow down to the genius of the sky. That's what's going to happen. Anyways, Liv Morgan comes out and asks Flair if she remembers her. Charlotte says Liv wants her attention and wants to take the new Liv Morgan seriously. Yeah, Charlotte Flair should take the new Liv Morgan seriously. Liv Morgan's been on a run recently. She's beaten Ruby Riott twice. Not to mention, she took Asuka to the limit a little bit. Asuka actually gave her credit and showed her how good she was. I remember that. Charlotte says Liv wants her attention and wants to take the new Liv Morgan seriously. Liv laughs and says she doesn't need a Charlotte to take her seriously. Not all of us were born with silver spoons in their asses, in their ass mouths. She says not all of us were born with silver spoons in their mouths, in their ass mouths. Okay. Whatever she said there. I think she went off script there. And she didn't have a daddy to walk her to school, let alone the front of the line. She says she will knock the Queen off if that helps her. If that helps her get to the front of the line, then that's what she'll do. Flair says she was born with a silver spoon and damn proof of it. She's damn proud of it. I mean, yeah, she's born with a spoon. She's born with a silver spoon and damn proud of it. And she expected Liv to say she was her dream opponent, just like Shirai did. Liv says, why don't we get a referee down to the ring and make it reality? So it was Charlotte Flair versus Liv Morgan. The bell rings and they lock up, with Charlotte forcing Liv to the corner and pushing her down to the ground. Flair then marks a line in the stand. A Liv Morgan kicks it away. And she makes a line in the sand. Liv Morgan kicks it away. They lock up again. Your Flair throws her off before whipping her hands. Liv ducks Flair and takes a side headlock, but Flair quickly counters to one of her own. Flair chops Liv down, then kicks her into her back. Flair slaps Liv and yells at her to show her something. Flair slams Liv to the buckles and tries to do it again, but Morgan elbows her. Liv unloads on Charlotte, then hits a stun shotgun dropkick. Liv hits a hurricanrana, then whips her to the corner, but Charlotte bounces out with a lariat. Liv dodges Charlotte and hits a springboard dropkick. Morgan runs but gets hit with a hip toss into the buckles. Charlotte stomps Liv repeatedly as they head to commercial break. So back live from commercial break, and Charlotte has her legs wrapped around Liv's head and is slamming her into the mat. Flair throws Liv off, but Morgan kicks her away. Then ducks an elbow and hits a lariat. Morgan hits a bulldog and a shining wizard, followed by a double stomp in the corner for a 2 count. Charlotte throws Liv to the apron, but Morgan punches her and slides through her legs. But Flair holds the ropes and stomps her. Liv hits a jawbreaker, followed by a springboard flatliner. Morgan attempts a second hurricanrana, but Charlotte counters with a powerbomb for a near fall. Flair chops Liv repeatedly in the corner until the ref stops her. Liv attempts the springboard dropkick for a second time, but Flair catches her and applies a Boston Crab. Liv gets to the ropes, then catches Flair with a dropkick toe hold into the rope. Flair hits her into the buckles, then hits a flatliner off the middle rope for a near fall. Morgan looks for Oblivion, but Charlotte dodges and applies the figure 8 for the win. Who the fuck is calling me in the middle of my review? That is so fucking rude. Anyways, so they show us a look at the number 1 moment in the history of Money in the Bank. And it's when Seth Rollins cashed it in at WrestleMania and stole the WWE Championship from Lesnar and Reigns. So, back from commercial break, here was the main event. Drew McIntyre versus Murphy with Seth Rollins ringside. The main event gets underway, and they lock up, and Drew shoves him down. Murphy hits Drew with an elbow and grabs a headlock, but gets thrown off. And let me show you. Oh man, I pushed the wrong button. My review was kind of gonna be terrible today, but at least I told y'all stuff that made sense. At least I told y'all what all happened on Monday Night Raw. But I'm gonna show you the Buddy Murphy and Drew McIntyre that I'm talking about. As you can see, I kind of feel embarrassed because I clicked the wrong button. I know I shouldn't be feeling embarrassed, but that's how I'm freaking feeling. After pushing the wrong button like that, that's how I'm freaking feeling.
The daughter of Hall of Fame.
Sorry about that, y'all. So anyways, I pushed the wrong button. So anyways, the Drew McIntyre and Buddy Murphy that I'm talking about. It's not the young Drew McIntyre or the young Buddy Murphy. It's not the young Drew McIntyre Murphy from NXT. I'm talking about the WWE Champion Drew McIntyre on the main roster, on the Monday Night Raw roster. We're talking about this Drew McIntyre and the Buddy Murphy I am talking about. Not the one on 205 Live, but the Buddy Murphy that's on the main roster. The Buddy Murphy that's the disciple of the Monday Night Messiah, Seth Rollins. Of course, I am referring to this Buddy Murphy. With the Monday Night Messiah, so-called architect, so-called King Slayer, Beast Slayer, and now the Monday Night Messiah. Yeah. WWE can't make up their mind of what they're going to call Seth Rollins, just like they can't make up their mind of what they're going to call Shayna Baszler. They went from calling her the submission magician to Queen of Spades to the fucking cage fighter to now the vampire. Are you serious? So, these are the guys I'm talking about. Anyways, yeah, the main event got underway. They lock up, and Drew shoves him down. Murphy hits Drew with an elbow and grabs a headlock, but gets thrown off. Murphy hits a shoulder, but Drew doesn't budge, so Murphy slaps him. Drew drops him with a shoulder, and Murphy rolls to the outside. Murphy stands on the ramp and looks at Seth on the stage. But Drew goes out after him and hits a big boot. McIntyre lifts Murphy and slams him into the barricade and the apron, then tosses him over the barricade. Drew chops Murphy around. Chopped Murphy around like he was nothing, of course. Chops Murphy around ringside, then sends him into the ring. McIntyre stares at Seth, allowing Murphy to hit a dropkick through the ropes. Murphy tosses Drew into the barricade and the steel steps, of course, then back into the ring. Murphy hits a meteor for a short 1 count. Murphy hits a few kicks to the back, then a chop to the chest, but McIntyre no-sells it and hits a huge chop of his own. McIntyre dodges Murphy and hits a Glasgow kiss. The champion runs, but Murphy hits a kick. Then an enziguri. Murphy goes up top, but Drew chops him in the chest, and Murphy flees off and into the barricade. Drew puts Murphy inside and hits a flying chop from the top rope. Drew takes Murphy back up top and attempts a super air raid crash, but Murphy slides down and hits a powerbomb for a 1 count. Murphy counts down and runs right into a Claymore kick for 1, 2, 3. Rollins walks to the ring and Drew begs him to get inside. Rollins gets on the apron, stares at him, but turns tail and leaves. Drew celebrates with the title, but Rollins runs down and super kicks him. Rollins then yells at Drew, saying this is bigger than the two of them. He then lifts the WWE Championship and stares at it. Rollins runs for the stomp, but Drew grabs him by the throat and hits a Glasgow kiss. McIntyre looks for a Claymore kick, but Rollins rolls from the ring. They stare at each other as the show comes to a close. Ladies and gentlemen, this is an indication that WWE needs to do a whole lot better with their Monday Night Raw and Friday Night SmackDown shows. Because if they don't start doing better with their Monday Night Raw and Friday Night SmackDown shows, the ratings are going to go down even more, even badder, even worse than they are right now. So, ladies and gentlemen, this week's Raw was absolutely, once again, fucking garbage. Folks, this is the end of your May the 4th, 2020 Monday Night Raw review. Be sure you hit that like, subscribe button, and turn on the bell for all notifications. Folks, thanks for watching. I'm out. Peace.